Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about what a second Trump presidency might mean for your money, especially when it comes to taxes and the economy. Now, whether you've been following his campaign promises closely or just wondering what's in store, this is a topic that could impact nearly everyone's bottom line in one way or another. The economy and tax policies affect the price of things we buy, the income we take home, and even the opportunities around us. So, if you've been curious about what this all might mean for you, stick around. We'll look at Trump's proposed tax changes, his plans for tariffs and trade, what he might do to tackle rising prices, and how all of this could hit your wallet. Let's break it down and see how these plans could potentially benefit or challenge you. So, let's start with what Trump's looking to do with taxes. In 2017, during his first term, Trump signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which changed a lot for individuals and businesses alike. It lowered tax brackets, gave a higher standard deduction, increased the child tax credit, and made the estate tax exemption more generous. If you remember, this led to a bit more take-home pay for many people. But here's the catch. Those individual tax breaks are set to expire after 2025, which could mean higher taxes for more than 60% of taxpayers if Congress doesn't act. Trump's plan is to keep these cuts going beyond that deadline. If Congress agrees, we'd see those lower tax rates and higher deductions continue. And, of course, that would help a lot of households keep more of their income. But Trump's ideas go beyond just extending what he's already put in place. He's floated some newer ideas too, like eliminating taxes on tips, overtime pay, and even Social Security benefits for older adults. Now, on the surface, this might sound like a win. Tipped workers, for example, could see a boost in their paychecks if their tips aren't taxed. Retirees who rely on Social Security might get to keep more of their benefits, which could be helpful for those on fixed incomes. However, there's a bit of a downside here too. Those taxes help fund programs like Social Security, and if they're eliminated without other revenue to replace them, it could mean changes to those benefits down the line. Now, you might be thinking, well, how will Trump pay for all this? One idea he suggested is introducing tariffs on imported goods. If you've heard about tariffs before, you might know that they're essentially taxes on imports. Trump's proposed a 10% or even 20% tariff on all imports and up to 60% on products from China. The goal here is to encourage more manufacturing in the US by making imported goods more expensive. The hope is that this could boost American businesses and create more jobs, but there's also a potential drawback. Studies show that tariffs often lead to higher prices for consumers because companies pass those extra costs on to us. So, while tariffs might bring in revenue to support tax cuts, they could also make everyday goods more expensive. Speaking of prices, Trump has also talked a lot about trying to bring down the cost of living. He's promised to lower prices on things like gas and groceries by boosting oil and gas production and rolling back regulations. He's also mentioned capping credit card interest rates at around 10%, which could be a big help if you're paying off a balance. And for car buyers, he's proposed making the interest on car loans fully deductible, similar to the mortgage interest deduction that homeowners already enjoy. But, as always, it's important to consider the other side. Increasing oil production can sometimes help with gas prices, but these prices are also influenced by global markets, which means there's no guarantee they'll go down just because there's more drilling. Now, if you're a middle-class American, Trump's tax proposals might seem particularly relevant. One idea that's come up is to increase the child tax credit to $5,000 per child, although Trump hasn't made it an official part of his plan just yet. This could be a major boost for families, especially with the rising cost of raising kids. He's also talked about creating a tax credit for family caregivers, which could really help those taking care of aging relatives at home. And if you're a retiree, ending taxes on Social Security benefits could make a big difference in your monthly budget. Another big aspect of Trump's economic vision is supporting American businesses. Lowering the corporate tax rate further, possibly to around 15% for some companies, could encourage more businesses to invest here in the US. He believes this could lead to more job creation and help drive the economy forward. For companies that make products here at home, this tax break might allow them to grow and offer more opportunities to workers. But some economists argue that these corporate tax cuts might benefit higher-income individuals the most, as they tend to own stocks and shares in these companies. So, While there could be a broader benefit to the economy, the immediate impact might be felt more by investors and business owners. Let's not forget about housing. Trump has said he wants to make homeownership more affordable too. He hasn't rolled out a full plan yet, but he's mentioned getting rid of regulations that increase housing costs and opening up federal land for housing projects. This could help increase the supply of homes, which is one way to bring down prices. He's also suggested that falling interest rates could lead to mortgage rates around 3% or even lower, making financing a home more affordable. But it's important to keep in mind that the president doesn't actually set interest rates. The Federal Reserve does. So, while Trump might want to lower mortgage rates, it's not entirely within his control. Still, if housing supply goes up, we could see a more balanced market, which might help with affordability. And there's one more area we should touch on, which is healthcare. In his first term, Trump made several attempts to overhaul healthcare, including trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. This time, he's been a bit quieter on healthcare reform, though he's mentioned some concepts of a plan. He said he'd like to try again to replace Obamacare, possibly with state reinsurance programs to help keep premiums down. But for now, it doesn't seem to be a top focus of his platform, at least compared to taxes and the economy. So, where does this all leave us? Trump's plans for taxes, tariffs, and the economy are ambitious, no doubt. If they go through, some Americans might see more money in their pockets, but there are also some trade-offs, like potentially higher prices due to tariffs and questions about funding for Social Security if certain taxes are cut. It's a lot to consider, and it's worth keeping an eye on how these ideas develop as they move through Congress. Let me know in the comments what you think about Trump's proposals. Do you think these changes will help you or hurt you? And what's one area of the economy you'd like to see improved? Your thoughts really help make this a community where we can all learn and discuss these big changes together. Thanks for sticking with me through this breakdown. I'll keep following these developments and bringing you updates on what's happening and what it means for you. I'll see you in the next one.